Welcome to episode 3 of my Ramadan keto journal. And after another week of fasting and eating keto compliant foods during Ramadan, I have some updates to report to you. But first I'll just say that today marks about the midway point of Ramadan. So basically what that means is I've been fasting for 2 weeks from, during the daylight hours and eating in the evenings and early in the mornings before the sun comes up. And I must say I'm feeling okay, feeling pretty good. I haven't hit that, hit the wall like I usually do later on in Ramadan. Still have some energy, so that's all good news. Let's talk about my numbers. So I continued doing what I was doing in the first couple weeks, and my body weight has maintained the low level that I reached last week. Last week I was at 180.4 pounds. Today I'm down just so slightly at 180.2 pounds. So roughly the same. Or you could look at it on the bright side and I could say, well, I made some more progress. My body fat percentage, however, which is what I really want to lower, has remained flat. So it's exactly the same as it was last week. So I was at 13.6% then, and also came in at 13.6% now on my personal scale. And check out my data from the personal scale app. Again, it's Renpo. It's going to come up on the screen in a second. Check it out. Another thing I did was go back to my gym, my local gym, to do a body scan on their InBody 230 scale. Again, that's a scale similar to the one I have at home, which measures body fat by sending electrodes up and down my legs. The one at the gym is a little heftier, more substantial machine, but it also has handles that you hold on to so it can send electrodes through your arms and upper body. And recall last time I had dropped all the way down to 8.8% body fat on that machine, and I was pretty excited, a little confused because that seemed low. So I went in for a retest today, and I came in at 10% body fat. So it's a little more than last week, but it's still really low, and it's within my goals. So right now I'm going to put up a screenshot of the results from that test. So I have these two different ratings from two different body fat testing machines that are both using a similar electrical current to figure out my body fat percentage. And on one, my home scale, I'm at about 13.5 body fat percentage. And on another one, I've been fluctuating between high 8s to 10%. So in order to resolve this very important question and try to figure out what my real body fat percentage is, I set up an appointment with a company called Body Spec. And what they do is they go to different locations throughout the Bay Area. And they do body scans using different types of scans, but the one I signed up for is called a dexa-scan. And you can Google that to figure out more of what it means or what it's about. But my understanding is that it's a scanner that you lay down in. It takes about 10 minutes to do a full body imaging of you. And it is said to provide the most accurate and precise body fat results. And then it also gives you information about your muscle mass, bone density, things like that. So I look forward to that. That's scheduled for about a week from now, so that can be coincide with my next episode of this Ramadan journal. So I look forward to doing that. Okay, some people have asked me to talk more about what I'm eating at the end of the day when I break my fast. And although I've given summaries of what I've been eating in past episodes, today what I'm going to do is give you a little bit more information about what resources I use to plan my meals, not only for keto, but also for breaking my fast during Ramadan. The first one, and kind of the most important one that I'm going to put up for you, is a link that I found online when I searched Google. The first time I was interested in keto, I just searched for a keto cheat sheet. I didn't want to read reams and reams and paragraphs about the keto diet. I just wanted to know, hey, what foods can I eat and when? And this cheat sheet popped up. I've been using it continuously. I have a printout sitting on my desk. Anyway, check it out. Here's the cheat sheet, and there's the web address on the bottom. You can Google it. It comes up pretty easily in Google Images, but I found it to be really helpful. Okay, so you can use that cheat sheet, keep it with you, keep it on your phone, print it out, keep it at home. Super useful for figuring out what you can and can't eat on a keto diet. If you eat those foods continuously, over several days or weeks, you should enter ketosis. Anyway, next up is what I've been eating to break my fast in the afternoons, in the evenings. And traditionally, the way we break fast is to eat a date to break our fast. So when the sun goes down, we eat a date. It's like the little fruit. In fact, I've got one right here. So they look kind of like this, kind of a lot bigger than a raisin, but they're super sweet and nutritious, and it is tradition for us to break our fast with these. I actually have been trying to eat really small dates because dates have a lot of carbs and sugar in them, which makes sense because at the end of the day you need some energy and you need to get going, but they're not very keto friendly. So I'll still have one for the sake of tradition and religious custom, but I'll have like the smallest one I can find. And then after that, the meals that follow, what I've been trying to do and have been pretty successful at is to start with liquids to kind of get the hydration back. And what I mean by that is to start with water, sparkling water. I've been having my water with electrolyte powder put into it, and it tastes good too because it's kind of like lemonade. But then, I won't just start eating a bunch of food. Typically, I'll try to have something like a soup at first to kind of get the juices flowing, so to speak. And I read somewhere that this is a good way to break fast if you're doing keto. And so I'll have a soup. Bone broth soup is kind of the recommended soup for keto. I haven't quite yet figured out why, because there's not like a ton of fat in there, but there is protein. So bone broth soup is a good one. Then I'll take a little break, like 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll come back and actually eat my meal. And now my meals have, during this Ramadan, consisted of a lot of kind of South Asian food, or Indian, Pakistani food, Afghan food. And normally those cuisines have a lot of rice and bread, like naan bread. And of course, as you may know, that's not really good on a keto diet. And so the way I've been adapting those cuisines to my diet is to, instead of using bread or rice as a base, I'll start with salad as a base, because all of those cuisines have salad as well. So I'll start with those as a base, and then I'll put the meats and the curries and the veggies on top of the salad. And when I eat it that way, it's delicious, it's great, it's still got, it's still very satisfying. Of course, I look with others kind of enviously when they're eating their bread or their rice, but it's okay, it's for a good cause. I've given those up, essentially. For dessert, I've been having my keto ice cream, which I love now. I'm kind of hooked on it. In fact, my family members who are not on keto asked me to make it for them because they like it too. Again, that is made up of frozen berries, so it's like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, mixed in with heavy whipping cream, a little bit of stevia sweetener, and then I like to throw in just a little bit of coconut milk too. And then I blend it all up and you get this amazing ice cream. So anyway, that's my update for this week. Again, my weight has stayed just about the same, a little bit down. My body fat percentage is exactly the same. My body fat percentage at the gym machine went up just a smidge at about 1.2%, which actually is a lot. But so I'm not really sure what that machine is measuring or how accurate it is. And finally, I've got an appointment set up at the end of this week, in about another 6 days or so, to do a full body DEXA-scan. Hopefully that can really give me an accurate picture of what my body fat percentage is. So I'm looking forward to that. And then in the next episode, what I want to jump into, I know people are curious, is cholesterol on a keto diet. Now I'll start by saying right now that I'm not an expert on these matters. All I can do is share with you my numbers and my experience, which you might find enlightening.